morning, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards. This is the card we're making today. You can find this card in the mini catalog on page 40. It's right here. I just cased this card and I'm thinking about doing some of these others. Just thought you'd like to see how I made them. I used this bundle or suite collection. You can buy things individually. You don't have to buy it as a suite. The only thing I didn't use on this card were these stickers. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made this card. Get this out of the way. Set this up here. I've got some of it done already. I'll tell you the sizes and dimensions, and if you don't catch it, it'll be on my blog. So this is a piece of the designer series paper. There's all different colors in there, and you can see here what it looks like this. So this is the one we're using. This is what they used in the sample in the catalog. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is glue this to the inside. Let me tell you how I did this. I took the stamp set. I stamped the sentiment, which is right here, in Melon Mambo, and then I stamped this shell. These are all photopolymer stamps. So I used this shell right here. Then I used this leaf image. This is stamped in Flirty Flamingo, Pear Pizzazz, and this is Melon Mambo, and it's this one. And then I stamped the inside of it with this. I stamped off and then stamped so it wouldn't be too dark. Oh, and then I used these dots, and I stamped those with Sahara sand. And then for this sentiment, I used Melon Mambo, and I used this. And I used, these are the Tasteful Labels dies. I used this one right here. And then these are the dies for this right here. Okay, this die, you cut it out first, then you lay it in the embossing folder and emboss it. And I used the pearlescent specialty paper for this. It's kind of pearl, shiny and pearl looking. Once you die cut it, then you emboss it. Just line it up inside there and run it through your embossing folder. It's like that. Let's see, what else did I do? I think that's all I did. Let's go ahead and glue this to the inside first. This card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This one is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Like I said, this will all be on my blog, and you can go to my blog with the little down arrow there. Glue that in here so it's already in here. Get dry. Now you can do this on the corner of your envelope to decorate your envelope as well. Okay, so let's set this aside. Now let's work on this. I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper and we're going to color this like I did this one here. So the first color I did was the Flirty Flamingo. So let's take that. And I use the blending brushes. And I just lightly put some color on that shell right there. And you can make these shells any color you want. I was just following what was in the mini catalog. So there's a little bit of pink on there. And then we'll go ahead and do this one here. Get some pink on that. Okay. Then I took the Melon Mambo, or this is Mango Melody, excuse me. Another blending brush. Colored this one. And then this one right here. Now, if you don't want them this dark, then brush off first, a little bit of it off. But I wanted it so you could see it. Okay. Then I took my Sahara sand. This has green on it, so let's make sure there's no green. I don't want it coming through to my ink pad there. And you just rub until you rub it off of there, as much of it as you can. And you can wash these, you just have to let them dry before you use them. I'm going to put some Sahara sand on this one. It might have a little bit of a green tint to it because there's still green on there, but that's okay. And you can put that any color you want. That's just the color this is just the color I used. Okay. Then I used Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to put some Pear Pizzazz on all our leaves. So let's rub some of that Sahara sand off of there and do our leaves. I guess it's not really leaves, it's like seaweed. Oops. I guess you need to be really careful because it's kind of delicate. And you can use a darker green if you want. I didn't want it to be too overpowering of a green. That's why I used this color. Okay. A little bit there, a little bit there. It really doesn't take too terribly long. I always say it's a simple card, and it is. You could use, if you don't have blending brushes, you could use sponge daubers. Those work too. They just tend to get things a little bit darker than I wanted. That's why I'd use this. I just kind of a little bit here, a little bit here, and then a little bit right there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Got plenty of color on there. Okay, once you do that, then you're going to take this piece and you're going to glue it to your DSP. And this piece is 5 1/4 by 4. So I just put glue on each of the shells. And then I don't want these to lift, so I just put a little bit of glue on them. But you don't want to go all the way out to the end because it's going to hang over. So just put a little bit on each one. just so they don't lift. Okay? And you lay that on there, and you can see how some of it hangs over the edges. Just a little bit, not too bad. Pretty easy to glue on. Then I took some linen thread and I wrapped it around twice. And I tied it in a bow. Well, first I tied it in a knot right here. Still want it to move. Okay, just off to the left or to the right here. Tied in a knot. It's easier for me to tie a bow if I tie a knot first. If I can get the knot tied. I have a hard time tying on camera because my fingers don't always cooperate. So if you get your knot there first, then your thread is tight already. So once you tie your knot, you're going to clip this off so it's easier to work with. And then you're going to tie your bow. Okay? It's like so. Like I said, sometimes the fingers don't work. So once you get your bow on there, you're going to trim the ends. Okay. Then you're going to glue this. Well, I think what I'm going to do is take one of these paper pumpkin glue dots. Use this thing here. Take one of these. You can use regular glue dots. I'm just going to roll it. So mini glue dots will work. These are just what I have using up, and I'm going to put it right here. That bow right on top of it, pull that off. The reason for that is to keep this where I want it. Okay, so that kind of keeps it in place and kind of helps keeping it from untying. Then you're just going to glue this to the front of your card. Now if your thread's loose on the back there and you want it tighter, just put a piece of tape across there. But this seems to be fine. Okay, then you're going to just glue this to the front of your card, just like so. Get it centered. Okay. Then you're going to take your sentiment. This is stamped with Melon Mambo, and I die cut it with the Tasteful Labels dies. Put dimensionals on the back, and I put one in the center to hold this thread in place. Just kind of center it on your card. Make sure it's level. So. Then you're going to take your pearls, opal rounds, and put some of these on here. There's a couple sizes on here, and I put a large one right here. Put them wherever you want, what looks good to you. And I put one over here. This just adds a little something to the card. And one right here. And that's your card. I hope you like it. Like I said, you'll find all the sizes, dimensions, products I used, everything on my blog. And if you don't know what to make, pull out your catalog and look at what the samples are in there. I've got this ready to make a card. These are real pretty. If you want me to do some samples of any of these or something different, leave me a comment. Like my video, subscribe, and you'll be notified of any new videos. I try to do at least one a week. If you're interested in purchasing any of the products, please use my host code. And I'm giving away, well, probably some basic rhinestones. I had them handy here and now I can't find them. Oh, they're here somewhere. But anyway, the rhinestones is what I've been giving away. I've got several packages, and so I thought that I would give some of those away. I move things and then I can't find them. It's ridiculous. Here they are. These. So that's missing one. Let's find one that's not missing any. How about that one? There. So with a $50 purchase, use my host code, and I'll send you a package of the rhinestones. So you have a blessed day. If you're interested in signing up as a demonstrator, same thing. Go to my website, email me. For $99, you get $125 worth of product. It's quite a deal, and then you get 20 to 25% off all your orders after that. So you have a blessed day, and have fun stamping.